Hello and welcome to my newest video. Today I'm going to take a quick first look at TokenPlay and more specifically at TokenPlay's new release or reveals at the E3 and all of the information they gave for their upcoming games, which is really interesting because they focus heavily on actually having gameplay driven games that you probably want to play regardless of any kind of blockchain integration. And I definitely think, just talking out of experience over the last couple of months, the way the whole crypto games and blockchain games space has been developing, I think this is definitely a great kind of progress they're trying to make, because eventually I think that any kind of mass adoption, which, as I always say, should be the main goal of the crypto and blockchain game community, is to reach mass adoption, where you basically have a game that is mainly played for the fun part, and the whole advantages of blockchain technology or cryptocurrency technology are running in the background, and they're just playing to their strengths and less as a forefront to present what cryptocurrency and blockchain can do for the video game industry. So this is definitely a great idea, and I already saw the video. So let's just quickly go over the different games and titles they are going to release. So you have Heavy Gear Assault. As a pilot on the distant planet Terra Nova, you play the high-stakes game of competitive gear dueling. Now, the reason why I'm not really showing any kind of website, because I think TokenPlay has a website on its own, and I'm going to go through this in a bit. But for now, this is mainly about the game titles they actually talked about on the at the E3 event. So again, you have Heavy Gear Assault, you have a dual-hand disaster tracker, a split-screen single-player twin-stick risk 'em up where your score is null and void if you die. Galaxy Pen and Paper, also interested, turn-based meta RPG playing to the strengths of obviously blockchain technology in terms of having your transactions go through on the smart contract, and that's why you can kind of do a turn-based game much better than running an actual gameplay where you have full control of the game on the blockchain. You probably more likely will do a sidechain like Loom Network has developed it, or you might just do a partial integration where the whole blockchain technology is responsible for the not for the gameplay, but for the whole digital asset part, the value part that actually kind of you can exchange back into real fiat currency, and the gameplay will run on actual servers as it's already doing in the whole video game industry basically. So you also have Mutant Football League, American Football with Monsters, Chroma Squad, Jennifer Wild. I'm not going to read through all of them now because I'm trying to make one single point. As I said in the beginning of the video, is that when we start to watch the video, we'll notice that these games, or most of these games, they vary greatly in terms of the quality of the gameplay they provide, and you can kind of see that these games will most likely be played by a majority of players who haven't really heard about cryptocurrencies before. At least they weren't really interested in investing in them, and that's the main key part of this video, essentially, in my opinion, when I'm trying to talk about TokenPlay and the reveals of their upcoming games. Again, it's all about having fun gameplay. Most of the crypto and blockchain games that have been coming out the last couple of months, they weren't really about fun. You didn't really want to play them unless they had a kind of a return on investment component, which most of them did, obviously. So a lot of people made money, a lot of people lost money, but there wasn't really a point to actually play these games. Therefore, why would you not just choose to play a game without any blockchain integration? And this is kind of, again, a video that shows there's definitely some great progress in the industry, especially in the video game industry, and a lot of games are going to pop up in the future that kind of play to the strengths of both sides, blockchain integration, but also the normal kind of server-side gameplay, and just focusing on fun, focusing on great graphics, focusing on actually making the game well structured, and yeah, providing a real interesting user experience to the end user, to the customer eventually. So let's quickly go through the TokenPlay E3 launch video. We have to turn that one down, otherwise you can't really hear me, as you can see here. So as I said before, it's really interesting that I think most of these games look really well polished and fleshed out, in my opinion, and they're all, as you see, presented by TokenPlay. So we have Wailing Heights. So look at this. This looks really interesting in my opinion. And I think this one is going to be one of the RPGs as far as I remember. Let me just quickly look on my second screen. 1 second. Wow. So this one is Wailing Heights, a musical adventure game in a horrific hamlet of monsters with artwork by comic book talents. Okay, that's interesting. Look at this. This actually looks like a real game, obviously, with really interesting graphics. And again, I think if one of these games will be able to stand on its own, you always have to remember that if one of these games makes it to the point where it kind of stands on its own and it doesn't really need any kind of blockchain integration to make it special and people actually play it, you have already reached a point where it will be played. Other than that, if it's only about the blockchain integration, that's most of the time the only USP the game has, and I don't think that should be the actual USP. And a lot of games in the past in the blockchain game space, they have used the blockchain hype that is already dying down a little bit during mid of the year 2018 to market their game. And instead of just talking about blockchain as a useful and interesting, meaningful integration into video games nowadays. Also really interesting game in my opinion. So yeah, I'm just going to go through them really quickly. As you can see, I really like what they're trying to accomplish here. I'm also going to go through TokenPlay really soon, once this video is over basically. Look at these graphics, that's great. And if they kind of find a way to have blockchain integration where it's necessary, especially when it comes to, let's talk about this weapon right now. If you kind of got this weapon and it's a special weapon and has some kind of value attached to it, if blockchain integration finds a way to transfer the value of this item into your wallet, and then in exchange you can kind of get fiat currency out of it, that would be absolutely fantastic. And that would be the main advantage of cryptocurrencies here. Obviously there are a few more, but especially these ones, 100% ownership and trades between two parties is definitely one of the main advantages I see for the video game industry when it comes to blockchain integration. So yeah, really interesting ideas here. I'm really looking forward to just any of these games, to be honest, and some of these games I will actually try to play regardless of their blockchain component. So yeah, let's just quickly go through TokenPlay. Also, please leave a comment below and tell me what you think about this whole question, this whole discussion about how important is it to have blockchain integration, if it's just for the sake of blockchain integration, or would you rather like to see these kind of games popping up and becoming more mainstream, so to speak, that only have blockchain and cryptocurrency technology where it's needed. So yeah, TokenPlay, the gaming industry, is now on the verge of another wave of disruption built on blockchain and cryptocurrency. TokenPlay gaming platform is a peer-to-peer decentralized distribution platform utilizing cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. So there's a lot of information. I think you've heard it before. There are a few other platforms who try to fill the same niche, so to speak. Our new platform caters to both the PC and mobile gaming communities, which is also interesting. They also try to kind of add mobile games. The fluid user experience and modern architecture of the system combined with its peer-to-peer transparency makes this a truly unique move in the gaming ecosystem. So you have key advantages: attractive games library. Okay, that's interesting because most of the other platforms, they only talk about the blockchain advantage and not necessarily talk about how many interesting games are in store here. Interaction with developers, supporting independent game developers, peer-to-peer community, blockchain integration. So they only talk about blockchain integration as one of the main advantages, but there are also a lot more, and I think this is again one of the key determinators of success in the long run if you don't just use blockchain as a marketing scheme, so to speak. Use of tokens to purchase, exchange games, and to sponsor. Great. As I also remember, I think TokenPlay had one of the largest booths in terms of members on the E3 event, which is also kind of showing that they really take itself seriously. They want to be on the E3, one of the biggest events in the whole gaming industry, and not just necessarily in any kind of blockchain event. TokenPlay for games, unmatched game library with focus on exclusive independent games. Independent obviously is one of the main advantages of cryptocurrency or blockchain games as well, because they can be independently funded. You don't really need a game publisher. You can just have your investors that are interested in playing your game, invest in your game, and therefore become um, the kind of fuel you need to really provide and release a great product in form of a game. Generating revenue streams and community building, that's also great. So you can kind of generate revenue streams for the players that are involved in playing your game and kind of developing your game further and progressing it. Gaming content sales and game purchases, download and streaming. Yeah, and also really interesting app screenshot already the way it will look like later down the line, hopefully. So yeah, there's also roadmap, so maybe you want to check it out yourself. This video is already around 10 minutes long, so I'm going to close it here. In conclusion, I know that I repeated myself, but I think this is a great, fantastic way of making the whole blockchain technology more of a mainstream product and less, again, of a marketing scheme or investment scheme for people, for small group of people to get a lot of money and just squeeze the pockets of their investors that are all they all try to have the best intention in mind when it comes to the game. They want to have the game succeed, and then a lot of developers just take this advantage and get the money, or just don't really finish an unfinished product, and so on and so on. And I think in this case, TokenPlay is kind of going the right way, and I think they're much closer to reaching any point of mass adoption and just kind of getting any of these games played by a larger majority of people than just the people that are in our community, just the crypto game and blockchain game enthusiasts. So yeah, definitely check out TokenPlay. Definitely also check out the E3 reveal news. I think I'm going to post a link to Blockchain Game Abyss. I've already talked about this website about blockchain and cryptocurrency games before in the video description, so you can check that one out. The same I'm going to do with tokenplay.com, so you can definitely check this one out, this great project and product and platform, if you want to call it that, that hopefully can disrupt the whole video game industry with blockchain and cryptocurrency integration where it's meaningful. So yeah, hope you liked the video. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think about this whole idea and this whole notion that I've been talking about on and on now. And also, as always, please don't take this video as financial advice. Please make sure to only invest as much cryptocurrency as you can afford to lose. And if you want to invest in any of these games coming out soon, hopefully by TokenPlay, make sure to do your due diligence first. Other than that, I hope that I can find a Discord and a Telegram or a Telegram channel of, oh, there's one. Is that one? No, they only have LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But maybe I'm going to find a link to Discord and Telegram, so you can talk to developers, talk to the community. Other than that, yeah, hope you liked the long video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.